NFL analyst Eric Dickerson.
He's back.
Hey, is it football season? I know y'all miss me. I know y'all miss me.
Skip said you went into hiding after that last game.
Well,
hey, I came back here like a man. I took it like a man. I
came back here today because you got Eric Weddle, and it really ticked me off.
Hey,
it just did, because he can play.
Thank you. We're trying to get our team better. We're trying to get better. We're trying to stay up on you Cowboys like we did this year.
You're doing the best you can. All right, Eric, we're going to talk about Juju here.
Okay.
Will he be able to fill that AB void in Pittsburgh?
Well, I'm going to start off by saying yes and no. But will he be AB? No, he will not be AB. It's only one AB. You know, when you look at the Pittsburgh Steelers, they're not just losing AB. They're losing Le'Veon Bell also. And they worked hand in hand. Now, if I'm the New England Patriots and I look at the old Pittsburgh Steelers, I'm like, okay, who do I stop? Do I stop Le'Veon? Do I stop AB? Do I stop Ben Roethlisberger? Now who do you stop? You stop Juju. You know, who's Juju's number two? You know, it's always easy to be number two. You think when you always number two wants to be number one.
Yep.
It's like the girl that, you know, I want to be the number one girl. Yeah. You know, or the guy, I want to be the number one guy. You know, until you're the number one. All of a sudden, all the attention goes to you. All the coverage goes to you. You know, even last year, AB didn't have a great year. And I'm going to tell you why I think he didn't have a great year. Why I know he didn't have a great year, because he didn't have Le'Veon Bell to take that pressure off him. You know, when you double covered, triple covered, it's a difference. James Conner is a nice running back. He really is. But he's not Le'Veon Bell. You know, Juju Smith, man, I think he's a really good football player. But without Antonio Brown, he is not going to be the same guy. I'm telling you, when you don't have that help, you're like, hey, man, come on. I'm double, triple cover over here. I can't catch the ball. And the papers, they don't see it like that. Like, why aren't you getting the catches? Why aren't you getting the touches? You said you want to be number one. Now you're number one. Now you're not putting up the numbers. Okay. So for me, I say, you know, I just don't think he can be that guy like he think he can be. That picture, that's a picture. You know, that's one picture. Just like Antonio looking at it, defenders looking at it also. You think you want to do that to us? Okay, we'll show you. So I say no. He can't fill AB's shoes.
I agree. No. Skip, I'll give you a prime example. And you was covering this team at the time. You remember Alvin Harper?
Ooh.
Man, Harper. Man, Michael Irvin was getting all that coverage and Alvin Harper was eating people up.
So did you just compare Juju to Alvin Harper?
No.
I need to know.
No, I'm saying when you're the number two and someone is demanding, you get the number one cover guy every single time. So you getting Marcus Lattimore, you getting all these guys number one, you getting the Chris Harris Jr.'s. Now all of a sudden, AB was pulling the double team. And even though AB was getting double teamed, he still had 15 touchdowns. Last 6 seasons, AB at least 100 catches, at least 1,200 yards. At least 8 touchdowns. So now, Juju is a very good receiver, Skip, but who's going to be the AB to lift coverage off him? We're going to see just how good he is. Is he good? Yeah. But Skip, AB, look, I don't think people realize how special AB is. He's done something nobody else in the history of the game had ever done. Put together these kinds of seasons back to back to back to back to back. Not Jerry, not Michael, not Chris Carter, not Marvin Harrison, not any of these guys that's in the hall have had 6 consecutive seasons like this.
And he was a Hall of Fame distraction.
Am
I right?
Oh, yes, he was all of that. But guess what you do, Skip? If you could just get him to the field.
There you go.
If you could just get him to the field. Now, he might turn over a Gatorade in the locker room and empty the jock.
Take some selfies.
Of course.
Skip.
We know that.
Juju's going to find out what it's like to be number one.
To your point on Alvin Harper, I used to have battles with this man. We used to yell it out because he would say, "Give me my due." Michael Irvin, Jay Novacek, no.
Emmitt Smith.
Sorry. And Alvin Harper did make a great catch when they broke through and got to their first Super Bowl in San Francisco to beat the 49ers. He made a great catch, but he was a complimentary receiver.
What happened when he went to Tampa?
Nothing.
Like, huh?
It was so long, out of sight, out of mind, right?
Yes.
Dearly departed. I don't know what happened to him. So, Juju had the guts to post a picture the other day that said, "I'm ready." In the picture, though, I think we have the play, but you can't really see Antonio on the play. But by all accounts, Antonio was frustrated on the play in question. They were like down to the 1 yard line, and he thought he was open in the right corner of the end zone and was probably throwing his hands up, though you can't see it on the video. But Juju made a catch on the back line, initially ruled out of bounds and then reviewed and turned over, and it was a touchdown. And so he said, with the capture of him with the feet in bounds, "I'm ready." I like that picture. I think it said a lot because you can see Antonio in the background of the still shot that he posted. So he's trying to send a message. He did that, and I'm ready to fill the void. And I believe he can fill the void. Is he as good as Antonio? No, he's not. Can he be a number one receiver in this league at 6'1", 215 pounds? Yes, he can. He's got credentials to him from USC. He's got credibility to him from last year because he was voted the team MVP. Am I right?
He was, Skip, but you got to understand now, a lot of his plays came out of the slot. It's hard for a slot receiver to be labeled a true number one.
Okay, well, you can flip him around. You can do lots of new things with him. But I'm going to say it again. I know James Washington had a classic rookie struggle of a season, and Ben was all over him too, publicly. But I watched James Washington a lot at Oklahoma State. I don't know if you did any of his games.
I did.
But he can get behind people. I'm not saying he's Deshaun Jackson, but he just has that effortless gait where it's like you asked me earlier, how does Deshaun keep getting behind people? I don't know. He just got that gift of it's like deceptive, effortless speed where he just runs by you and all of a sudden he's catching it, right? Okay, so this kid's got that capability. Little Ryan Switzer, who was once a Dallas Cowboy, I liked him, and he started to pop last year for the Steelers. And Vance McDonald rose and shone last year as a big-time tight end. So to me, James Conner is better than nice. I mean, he was really good. His numbers were equal to Le'Veon's. You might say the impact isn't quite equal, but the numbers were. And that Jalen Samuels, the backup kid, against New England that day, he went for 142 on 19 carries. So give him maybe the 1-2 punch, some thunder and lightning. The defense was tied for first in the NFL in sacks. I submit to both of you, they're going to be a little better off without Antonio Brown, without him. It's just a little addition by subtraction because he'd become such a distraction. He wanted out and they wanted him out, and they did it.
Sometimes, sometimes you can say the team would be better off without a player because of the distraction. But are they better are they a better football team on the football field with him? Okay. Most definitely. You got to also look at it this way too, Steve. Ben Roethlisberger is not the Ben Roethlisberger of the last couple of years. I mean, because he'll go out the day and throw 400 yards and come back next week and throw 5 picks. So, you think
wasn't that always been? I don't know.
But not, not in the middle of this. It's getting late now. It's getting late. It's getting late in the witching hour. So it's almost like he's not the dependable quarterback that he used to be.
Maybe not.
Okay, you can depend on Ben to bring him back. Can you depend on Ben to make that big throw to Juju? I mean, so I say again, it's going to be tough for him to not have an Antonio Brown because Antonio Brown automatically it's like, hey, you cannot let this guy get open. He will kill us. And I just feel like that they're going to really miss him, and Juju's going to see him. Okay. It's going to be some day he's going to like, man, I don't know what's going on out here. I don't know what's happening.
That probably will happen.
I know what's happening.
You brought up the Patriots. Patriots saying, well, they did.
They did.
I know. They just kept doing it. They just kept beating them.
They're going to really stop him.
Okay.
He's one guy.
I don't know.
The Patriots.
I really like Juju. I think he's big.
I like him, too. I do like him. I like him.
I look at Atlanta. Skip, you look at Calvin Ridley and you look at the season he had. If you remove Julio, you think he's going for double-digit touchdowns as a rookie? No. Those guys lift coverage. Mike Evans, DeAndre Hopkins. You look at the guy that's playing next to DeAndre Hopkins. Before Fuller got hurt, Skip, he was lighting people up.
Yeah. Okay.
Man, it's a big, big difference when you don't have someone to lift that coverage, and instead of you lifting the coverage for someone else now.
Okay.
We'll find out.
So Pittsburgh's odds dropped from 20-1 to win the Super Bowl to 25-1, and Oakland's went up from 100-1 to 80-1. but still, Oakland still with AB, they're still 80-1, and Pittsburgh without him is still 25-1. Okay, that's a big gap.
They might score a few more points. How are they gonna stop somebody?
Who?
The Raiders.
The Raiders.
They still only had 11 sacks last year.
No idea.
What are they going to do about that?
I mean, that's a great question. But
they couldn't get no pressure on nobody. I wonder why. I wonder why.
They needed star power. They needed marquee pop, and they got it.
Well, they better get somebody. They better get somebody for defense that's going to go put the quarterback on the ground. Because if you don't put that quarterback on the ground, I don't care how much star power you got offensively.
Skip, question for you. What are the Cowboys' odds to win a Super Bowl?
I don't
What
know.
do you know, Skip? What is it, Skip? You know what?
I didn't check. I don't know.
I
Did you
don't
check?
believe you. No, but I really was hoping you did.
I think
You
it's-
gotta
what
get
is
those
Skip?
I think it's like
somewhere.
4-1. Or...
No, you know
We're going to take a quick break.
That's my odds. That's what I'm saying.
Are Skip's Cowboys still the team to beat in the NFC East? Eric is going to stay for this one. We'll tell you next.
It's about 4.